Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami. Welcome back to the Miami Heat Beat Postgame Show. Thank you for our little mini vacation. I was very sick. You know, everybody took a little bit of time off, but we're back. The Miami Heat defeat the evil New York Knicks today on this beautiful Tuesday, April 2nd. That is not an April Fool's joke. That what you saw was real. With me today, get the intern Pablo. Hi, Pablo.
What's up, chat? How's everyone doing today?
No new snacks back there?
Bro, I'm fucking broke right now, bro. I ran out of my Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I ran out of the Rice Krispies.
Okay,
One bag.
I don't need to seem like I'm downstairs talking to my 8-year-old about snacks.
We didn't ask all that. We didn't ask all that, Pablo.
I can't be Pablo. I thought you said you were legal. We can't be talking about snacks. I got a kid downstairs. We're not doing that.
Shit, your kid probably has more snacks than me. For being honest, I don't got shit right now.
Hey, it's not true. Gee, they saying I only show up for Nets and Knicks wins.
That's brutal. That voice you hear is Reality Check Masters Tiffany Meeks. Tiff, good to see you.
What's up, guys? It's been too long. Been too long,
but we're ready to go. And of course, last but not least, we got the saucy takes. Coach Lou. Lou, what do you have to say?
Light the sign.
Light the sign. Fuck the Knicks.
Fuck the Knicks.
Where's the energy? Fuck the Knicks.
The last time I was on air, I screamed at Lou. I screamed. Since I yelled at Lou, they have won by 60 points against Joe Cronin's Blazers. I believe they beat the Cavs by 40 points as well in that time, and they have now beaten the Knicks and they beat the Wizards. So we're so back, baby. Guys, let's talk about this game. Because anytime you get a win against the Knicks and a conference rival, that's really good. I also think that this win is good for a couple reasons. One, you kind of put a little bit of dent in New York getting to 3. And I think if you're Miami, the matchup you want is Cleveland at 3-6. New York obviously injured today. No Anunoby, no Randall. They're missing some other guys. Obviously, this is a different matchup if they're at full strength. And I think Miami getting that win's important because A, gives them half a game within Indiana for 6. Embiid came back for the Sixers today, so they are going to, try to win as many games as possible. They won today against the Thunder. That's a really good win for them. So they needed this one, and also kind of bumped the Knicks down. Tiff,
yes.
Let's start with that context, and then we'll get into the game. I think that's huge for them and any kind of playoff aspirations that they have.
All right. So first, before I start, I want to say shout out to Alf for sending me this nice, comfy, luxurious sweater. All right. So yeah, these next couple of games have big, implications as to where the Heat will rise or fall in seeding for the playoffs. The thing about it is that I personally feel like you'd rather have that Cavs matchup. I mean, they're just as banged up as we are, so I'd rather take our chances with that Cavs matchup. It's gonna age me terribly with Max on the other side. But I'd rather have that matchup just considering how we're limping into the playoffs, how they're limping into the playoffs. I think that you had to win tonight's game, but like if we want to be completely honest, that we probably will never be completely healthy at this point for the playoffs. And at some point you would expect probably I expect OG to come back. I'm not sure about Julius because I know with a shoulder injury, you don't want to tempt it. But I'd rather, if that's the case, I'd rather see them later than that first round. Because I think the Heat got rust to knock off. I think that first round, they need to go in and they need to find cohesion. And whoever's healthy, then that's the lineup you're going to have to roll with, which, we have no idea what that's going to look like.
Lou, let's talk about kind of the matchup, against New York, kind of with the information we had today. potentially in a playoff series. Obviously, no Anunoby, no Randall, makes them a lot smaller. I thought today, early in the game especially, it was pretty clear. Jimmy went at Josh Hart. It was going at New York Smalls. I went on Knicks Film School podcast with Andrew Claudio, my good friend. And that was kind of one of the battlegrounds that we talked about in this game and kind of how that might look in a potential series. How without Anunoby and Randall, Jimmy was able to kind of early get an advantage that helped Rozier kind of get open off that second swing because that guy from the corner is kind of coming to help. That the Knicks are trying to stunt, because they don't have too much size outside of Mitchell Robinson out there, and Jimmy was kind of able to beat up on those guys early. That to me was not only the formula for this game and kind of how they were able to build a big enough lead to win, and in conjunction with just a special game from Rozier. We will get into more in depth in a second, but I think when the Knicks are totally healthy, that becomes a lot more difficult because Anunoby is going to be guarding Jimmy for a lot of that, and then Randall is going to be that help guy. It's not going to be DiVincenzo. It's not going to be Bogdanovich. It's going to be kind of a little higher quality defenders.
Yeah, and like you said, Jimmy was just kind of in his. I felt like I don't know what the stats say, but I felt like he played his game today. Honestly, he did his thing in terms of just controlling tempo and matching and controlling tempo to the point where he was. I think he finished 5 or 6 assists, but it wasn't just the assist that he finished with. It's the amount of open, like you said, the secondary swings were there. The Knicks are a team that likes to they like to help on their strong side really hard and leave zone up on the backs on the weak side completely. So it's a lot of 2-on-1s. And if you move the ball over, even some 3-on-2s and stuff like that, Jimmy was able to get those triggers. And it's just the fact that they're so tiny right now without Anunoby in particular. And, insert Miles McBride, who played, who played good today. But he just doesn't affect Jimmy. It's somebody else Jimmy can hunt. It's not just Brunson. It's not just DiVincenzo. It's not just now it's Miles McBride. And obviously, he had success against Josh Hart, even dating back to last year. So you feel I think Miami feels comfortable in the East. Anybody not named Boston round 1.
Tiff, how do you, and then we'll get Pablo's thoughts. Tiff, how do you view that kind of just from a schematic perspective? Because I know that we've talked in private, and you said that, New York size is something that is on your radar, particularly just Anunoby in general, that at times it felt like New York tried to build a team specifically to guard Miami. And I don't totally disagree with you.
No, I've thought that all season because that we're their Detroit Pistons. Like we just beat the shit out of them. And technically had Jimmy not gotten hurt, we might have handled that business in 4, to be completely honest. I think the thing about it is that they know they need size, they know they need strength, and they just know they need nasty, right? So you need those combinations to get past teams that have it. I think what worries me, and I saw the Twitter yappings, everybody saying that, oh, Jimmy don't give a shit tonight. He's not doing. I think we have to start taking a look at some of these pedestrian games. We need to start taking a look at how he's moving, how he's getting up and down the court, when he's choosing to cut, how much stamina he has, and when he has it. At some point, Jimmy's not on vacation, right? Like, we got to be honest. And there's no need to say, Eric, he ain't playing like a dickhead. I think we're starting to see the aging process.
Guys, he's 34, man.
Right. Like I think we're seeing
Old man,
it.
bro.
But here is the positive if you can find something in that. Guys like Terry, guys like Haywood, what they were able to do tonight. Those are the positives that you got to take away when Jimmy is not playing godlike. Because there is going to come a point in the playoffs where you're not going to get baby Jordan. Like, it's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So as you have to start to be able to rely on other players to at least try to keep you afloat until Jimmy can get whatever he can give you. It may work, it may not work, But that's the positive that you just take from this season because that's all you got.
So, want to give a couple shout outs to people in chat. We got Vane Hype gifting a tier 1 sub to Jalen Brunson. We got Eric the Great resubscribed for a month. Says fuck the Knicks. As always, hope y'all are well. Good
Thank
to
you,
see you, my
Eric.
friend. We are always well. What Fig said, they subscribed to Prime 22 months. Thank you
Fig.
for the time. And he said, put it in reverse, Terry.
Eric said 42 months, sir.
42 months.
That's
How
what's
long
up,
is
Eric?
That's all, Eric. That's a
3.5
fucking-
years.
That's
That
a
is-
that's,
That's,
Yo, we at the point where Jimmy gonna be giving us that Magic Johnson.
bro. You've been subbed to us longer than some
I
of
ain't
these
gonna be
players
here.
have been on the Heat. Pablo, let's get back into the game. Let's do a little more micro and a little less macro right now. Rozier, came out the gate looking fantastic. Chat really wants me to apologize to Rozier. Brando 404, 17-monther, just gave a tier 1, said fuck them numbers and fuck the Knicks. That's always welcome to. Also, somebody in chat said I look like a generic 2K.
you look like a brown shirt, bro, from 2K17, man. 55
They said I
overall.
look like a 75 overall. This is my new shirt. I go to Aloe. I got a couple new things. I got a
don't even know
blue
what that
one.
means.
What is
I don't even know
aloe?
what that means.
I live down here. I don't know what that is.
ALO, the little fucking Jimmy likes those clothes. Like they have nice yoga clothes. I like to do yoga in these. They're my nice workout clothes. I need that. Really, what's going on here is that I want the gym manager to see me look my best. So that's really, I'm just overspending on gym clothes right now.
Listen, before you get to Pablo, if you start in on whatever that conversation was you and Lou had last time, look at me. I'm giving you the Magic Johnson.
Take me out
be
too.
here.
I'm not
I ain't
gonna
gonna
be
be
there.
here.
Pablo, Terry, absolutely menacing today, much like
Terrence.
Terrence, just the shooting, and really when he shoots that way, they look like a different team.
He's just so much more comfortable within the offense, and he is playing like how everyone wanted him to play on day one. And this is what he was doing on the Hornets. He just needed time to get accustomed to playing in this system. And you see, obviously, he's not going to hit 7 fadeaway threes every game like today. Today was just ridiculous. He was just hitting whatever he threw up. But he's still going to give you a good 19 to 18 on a good night with good shooting. And he's going to stretch out the floor when Jimmy's having a bad game like today. He shot 12. Jimmy went 5 for 12. You have Terry picking up the offense and giving us a boost whenever we need it. And I think he's going to come up big in the playoffs with his offensive sparks. Yeah, he has downsides where he can sometimes go 3 for 10, 3 for 11. But as of late, for the past 2 weeks, he's been absolutely balling.
Listen, and even I have to admit, like, I was really hard. And listen, I was hard on him from the jump. He's really playing at a level right now that I think if he can keep it up, Lou's laughing at me. If he can keep this up, like, obviously.
I'm laughing because I might know why Terry's playing good. I got inside sources.
You got inside info?
And it's hilarious.
Chat really just chat and Twitter just want me to admit that Kyle's not good. I will not be doing that, but I will admit that Terry's good. What's the reason, Lou? What do you got?
According to an undisclosed source.
Okay.
According to an undisclosed source. He said, I don't, and I quote, I don't want to say I'm the reason Terry is hooping right now, but ever since we got these sweet aromatic loose leaves, he's buying them and he's been going off. If you know, you know. Terry smoking that dro, hitting that bitch from downtown. It is what it is, baby.
So there you go.
Legally.
That's the exclusive.
It's the sweet aromatic loose leaves, and I quote. Terry's out here.
Do they want to sponsor?
I fucking guess, man. I don't know. He said I got to be his good luck charm. He's gone to him twice. You remember when he first got here and he sucked? He cooked the next game. His first good game was thanks to the sweet aromatic loose leaves.
Chat. I don't get
Tell the sage lady.
I know Navas is salty about Terry because Liverpool's top of the table, and
What the fuck?
did that make me happy? Liverpool's top of the table.
Hell yeah.
That's a good thing. So yeah, guys. So I will give Terry his flowers, and he's been just incredible. And I think the playmaking is a lot better than I thought. Tiff, I didn't think that he would be kind of a playmaker out of pick and roll the way he has. I thought he'd make kind of those easy initial reads, but I think that kind of the passing off the cutting, I think today you saw Highsmith in particular did a great job of kind of being that cutter from the weak side corner, which is something that Miami does a lot with both him, with Jimmy and Caleb and Highsmith. Highsmith does it a lot. That's kind of the stuff that I think he's gotten really good at. And he's just a good playmaker. And I was not familiar with your game in that sense. I didn't think he'd be that level of playmaker. Tiff.
Yes.
I don't know. It's kind of an open-ended question.
Oh.
Open-ended thing on Rozier's playmaking. There wasn't really a question. It was just like, this is what I think of Rozier's playmaking. Tiff, what do you think of Terry's?
I like it. I think it's I mean, it's not great. Like, I think it's decent. I think it's decent enough. This team is pretty much playmaking by committee, which is fine. As long as you're moving the ball, it works. But now once you become stagnant, as we did in the third quarter, then nothing works. What I like about him is that he's not as reckless with the ball as I thought he was. So that to me that's one of the biggest things. He's doing a better job in the crunch time containing the ball. Like, he's not turning the ball over. He's not taking stupid shots. He's at I prayed in the chat. I don't want Caleb having that ball with 3 minutes or less. There's no reason Caleb should be dribbling. Like,
Caleb was on today.
His pump fakes were crazy.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that affectionately.
So it's surprising because I think for me, because he was playing with the Hornets and LaMelo was so in and out the lineup that basically it was just like Terry do or die. So he was taking whatever shots he wanted. He was getting up and down the court. He was going 1-on-3. So his ability to be able to like come from a situation like that and to come into this situation and be able to kind of meld his game around everybody else that's on the floor, like I really appreciate that coming from him as a player.
I do too, and I think that like without Kyle, they needed to kind of replace. I didn't think they'd replace that element of his game, which I think is kind of important as a connector. I still don't view him as a connector, but I do view him as kind of Lou, like kind of the head of the snake out of the pick and roll, which is good because Jimmy and Bam just don't run a good pick and roll, and I think that they're gonna need kind of some innings eating plays, in the playoffs.
Yeah. I like the point that you said, like, one thing Kyle did do was he was a connector, and Terry isn't that. But that's a perfect transition to, who is a connector? Nikola Jovic. A masterful fucking connector. I don't give a damn. We were talking about Terry, and he got his chance. But 6 assists, like, no, seriously. Like, just the amount of just secondary reads. Bam didn't touch the ball at all in the first quarter. Bam's like first 2 baskets were off of entry passes from Jovic. He just knows where to find people. Like it felt like the first 2 or 3 Terry scores were off of his like extras. I don't know, man. Like Tiff said, running point guard by committee. We need a lot of people to play make, and it's been, I would say, it's been I don't want to say a surprise, but I think we've looked better than we probably give it credit for in terms of like the limiting turnovers. Terry's done a good job at that. Like typically we have today they had 17. Today they didn't really do a good job of that, but it's a lot.
Jimmy had a good amount. I think Jimmy had 3.
It's a lot of Jaime today looked
not.
I don't know. Yeah, not good.
He didn't look a rookie moment. He's still a rookie. Like,
but it's a lot of little things that they're ironing out, and I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna get any healthier than this. This feels like the peak healthy, honestly. And
no, I agree, Lou. I think you're right.
Wasn't Tyler probable today?
Yeah,
but
I mean,
with Tyler being if Tyler comes back, 2 people are just waiting to get hurt. Or a day off at this point, realistically.
Yeah.
But they don't got no more PTO days. They use them all up. You gotta go out there. You gotta play. We need them down the stretch. Have you seen the schedule?
It's April, bro. It's April,
The
man.
next
Getting-
8 games. The next 8 games.
You
not counting
tweeted
today.
it.
Yeah,
You
Sixers, Rockets, Pacers,
Yeah.
Hawks,
You got
Mavs.
you
Important
got to
ass
get it in
games.
right now.
one of those
Come
teams is
on.
not like the other.
Right.
I'm saying we gotta. One of them teams has Kyle Lowry on him.
I was more making fun of the Hawks, but yeah.
I know.
I
But
want
the Hawks been really good since.
The
since,
Hawks
um,
beat Boston twice
twice,
Yeah,
and they came back from 30.
without
You know
Trae Young,
why?
right?
Since- yeah, since
Trey
Trae Young's been hurt.
Trey Young is out.
Since Trae Young's
Yeah.
been hurt, DeJounte and company over there, DeAndre Hunter.
Thanks, man. Jesus,
I did want to bring up something
this better be good.
that when Tiff was talking about Jimmy, that Jimmy is still shooting 12 shots. Like today, he shot 12 shots, and people saying he's coasting. He went 5 for 12. That's a game where Jimmy typically has 25 to 26 points. He's just a game if he's coasting is like if he shot like 7 shots and he just didn't, like he looked like he didn't care. But today he was driving, he was trying to get his buckets. He didn't look explosive. It was just he didn't look good today. So I just think it's age, injury. Like he's gotten so many injuries throughout his career. He's just like, yes, he can go ballistic for a game or two, but I don't think he can go ballistic for a whole playoffs again. And that's where Terry comes in, Bam comes in, D-Rob comes in, Hero if
Highsmith.
he ever plays. Highsmith comes in with
Hmm.
defense.
Hmm.
Jimmy is not the same Jimmy. Yes, he's going to give you 40 in one fucking playoff game probably this year, but he's not going to give you a 37-point series like he did with the Bucks again. I don't think that's going to happen. And that's just because of age and injury.
Yeah, and that's kind of been my concern with him all
Yep.
year. It's like, he'll turn it up, and I think turning it up will probably be 85%
Right.
of what he was last postseason, which is still good, but I think that they're just not kind of built for that level of, they have too many holes, and he kind of
Yeah.
fixes it all up. But I will say this, and I think that tonight you get a huge performance out of Rozier.
Yep.
You get, you don't really get much you don't get anything really out of Duncan. You don't get too much on offense out of Bam. Bam had a nice kind of late game surge, was 15-9, 6 for 9 shooting, less than 10 field goal attempts, only 4 free throws. Duncan, hasn't really looked great since he come back from injury, kind of working his way back. Caleb was just an adventure today. And Kevin Love's kind of on his way back. So, Highsmith kind of stepped up, played that role, and Rozier had a big game. But, Jimmy had a good, not great game. I think that kind of like what Lou said, kind of controlling the pace and all that. And, can he and Rozier flip that production? And is that enough? Can Rozier consistently give you, 20 and 7 a night, and Jimmy kind of be, okay, I'm going to be 25 to 35 a night guy? And that's kind of the questions that we're going to need answered in the playoffs, and amongst other things like Tyler's health and Duncan stuff. Let's talk about Highsmith. Tiff, we'll go to you first because that's your guy. Eric Reed with the call. Lock him up.
Listen, I don't even know. I feel like y'all should be tired of me talking about him.
No.
Talk your shit, Tiff.
Because
I'm never tired.
You
of
were
Highsmith.
right. You let the heavens hear.
I've been saying it since we got him into the G, that there was something in there. And if he can get coached, if he can get put in the right position, he can grow. Now, did I know exactly what the extent of the growth was going to be? No. Did I know he was going to become Hollywood Haywood? No. I didn't know these things. But let me tell you something. It's defense first. When he gets in there and he starts digging in on defense, the offense is there because he's confident. Like, that's the one thing I always say about him. When he gets in and he gets scored on a couple of times, you can see it. The head goes down. He starts kind of dragging down the court. He starts looking for a call because first of all, you're never getting a call. Like, Haywood ain't getting no calls. But I can see the difference. There's something about him where the confidence now has kicked in, and he believes he can make that open shot. And that's
Bro,
and that's
that one
the
he
thing.
took in the fourth?
G, you see what I said in the chat? What did I say? Oh, don't tell me he hitting clutch shots now. Like that, because remember that shot, that was the tie game, and the Knicks had all the momentum.
And he hit that.
Yes, I am trading Hero for Struz. But anyway, so
It was like in a heartbeat.
in a heartbeat. I'm not saying it, but that Bleacher Report ding gonna hit real strong when it say Donovan Mitchell and Max Strus traded to. I'm just playing. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just am. I love this guy because this guy is somebody who just worked and worked and worked, and he's built himself into a dependable, serviceable rotation player. I have questions as to where he's going to fit into what happens if Tyler does come back, because the rotation is going to be flipped again. So I just have questions to where if the coaching staff values what he gives enough to keep him out there, especially when they know they need like the defense from him.
I have a name of a guy that might be looking at the out, and chat literally just said it. Jaime Hawkins Jr. has not, given the production that Haywood Highsmith has. And I think that tonight's another game where you kind of wonder. It's like, okay, well, he's hit a bit of a wall. I think there's a scouting report out on him. I think that kind of his little pump fake and go is not really working, and he hasn't really adjusted to that adjustment. And we're gonna have to see, and it's gonna take it. Listen, it takes guys a bit. This is not to do that, but for sure, when they have series to win, Highsmith might be a guy that they might trust a little bit more than him in the playoffs, because it just seems like Jovic is going to stay the starter until it's bad.
Right, until it's bad.
And I could see Jovic going from starter to no minutes pretty easily, given kind of Spo's history. But I think Highsmith is a guy that against Boston should probably play against New York.
For sure.
Yeah. Against the Knicks, I think against Cleveland, I think you're going to want him on Mitchell. I just think that he's just going to make sense if he can keep hitting the three.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Realistically, he's been their best bench player for about 2 weeks now. A little bit over a week now.
Part of that has been everybody's been hurt, and part of that has been he's been good.
Absolutely. Part of that has been, but the benches remain the same for most of this period. It's basically been Caleb, Jaime, guys who were carrying it on earlier in the season, but now it's Highsmith. And to Tiff's point, when he looks comfortable, he looks confident.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in the locker room this year. Duncan getting the confidence he got to, do all the things he was doing during the season, and now Highsmith getting this confidence. Whoever's feeding him this stuff, man, please stay around, because that's literally what Highsmith needed. Ever since I first saw him play in the fucking summer league, I was like, there's no way this guy doesn't make it. Like, there's no way he's not a valuable rotation player somewhere down the line. And here we are 2 years later, after last year in the playoffs, game 7 against Boston, he only played like 9 minutes. It felt like they didn't score in the 9 minutes he played. He's just that caliber of a defender when he's locked in, which is good. As soon as the shot starts hitting like it's been hitting, all of a sudden he goes from just a rotation player to you must play him. And I don't think it should be out of the question whether or not he's a playoff rotation player. He should definitely play in the playoffs, whether it's Jaime, whether it's less Caleb, whether it's a little less Jovic. You figure that out, but he has to play.
I think Caleb's kind of pretty locked in for a rotation spot just because.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, maybe
I don't disagree with you.
Maybe like 3 minutes less, and then you take Highsmith's 12.
We'll be all right if we got 3 minutes less of Caleb.
Listen,
it won't hurt me.
It was so funny because Tiff and I were just kind of talking. We were texting about Caleb. Bit of a rough night. Jack Alfonso just texted me, I'm sick of Caleb. Alf in my group chat with Rohan and Ryan Cortez just motherfucks Caleb every day of the week.
Those pump fakes are crazy today, bro.
Bro, he was a D-Wade gift.
Yes.
Bro, I say this about pump fakes all the time. When you do more than 3 and you're looking like me
it's
on
over.
a basketball court, it's fucking done, bro. It's fucking done. And he wasn't even like, I don't know what the end game was.
He didn't know what it was. That's why he kept pumping.
Right,
he was hoping.
right.
He's like, I'm gonna get you.
That shit, that shit was improv, bro. He
That
had
shit
no
was a-
idea. He
That
had
shit
no
was a
plan.
prayer. No, Pablo's right. It was improv. It was just like, when I play like a fighting game or when I play Smash, sometimes I just do a move hoping somebody runs into it. There's no plan behind it. There's no intention. There's no strategy. I was like, oh, down smash and pray. And Caleb was really just hoping somebody whacked the shit out of him.
Bro, but like it was like 5 of them in a row, bro. I just knew it was over for him, bro. He was not going anywhere with that shit.
Carliana said with the Macarena pump. Chat saying we beat a good team today and we still fought, we played
I
mid
mean,
and we
they're
found ways
missing
to win.
people.
I
They're
agree.
mi-
That's
all you
They're
got-
That's
good
what you
team.
got to do. Listen, they just got to find ways to win this stretch. You just got to figure out by 1 or by 20. No one cares. You just got to win.
Any
Chat-
means necessary.
Debush in chat says nobody excited when games started seeing Jimmy from the jump guarding Brunson. I thought that was good. I was like, yeah, that's what you want. You want your best player
Yeah,
to be
And he
active.
did.
defensively.
He did a heck of a job on Brunson.
Well, then he did, and then Brunson really early went to Duncan in the pick and roll, wanted
Yeah.
that switch and
Yeah, he
got it. And then they started doubling Brunson, which I thought was a good kind of early adjustment by Spo. And then, then they had to kind of reconfigure their defense for DiVincenzo. But, that's kind of what's going to happen when you have a guy like that who can target Duncan. What are you going to say,
I
Tiff?
think also we got to take a look at Duncan these next couple of games. He's moving real slow.
He don't look good. He
It's the
don't
back.
look healthy.
It's
He don't
that
look good.
He's
back.
laboring, and then I don't know what Philly's doing tonight, but
I don't know if they won.
They
you
won.
need-
They won.
They
won.
won. Oh, you need Duncan for this matchup.
I agree, Tiff, 100%.
So I'm gonna be I feel like if you don't get a good to great game out of Duncan, you're in trouble. Just because of those matchups. Like you don't have that one pure floor spacer. Like you just don't have it.
You don't.
So with
Haywood
Embiid,
Highsmith.
I see what you did there. You
We're
motherfucker.
we're so back. Or Bam. Or Bam.
Or Bam. But I'm not gonna lie. You need Duncan.
No,
They need D-Rob.
They need Dunk. And like you want to, I think getting out of the play-in has become last year it was just like, you just don't want to be in that. I think this year, bro, I just don't want to fuck around in a 1-game sample against Embiid.
No, I don't either.
And
Yeah.
Kyle.
I
Kyle.
don't either.
You
Don't say
shouldn't.
Kyle.
Don't say Kyle. Absolutely not fucking Kyle. Maxi, yes. Kyle, I'm good.
Maxie was kind of disappeared today.
You just, I mean, he was hurt.
Oh, he didn't play?
Yeah, he didn't play.
Oh.
But yeah, he was definitely not there today.
He actually did disappear. You are right.
100%. No, you don't want to. I don't think you want to face Boston or Milwaukee in round 1 unless, like, ideally you want to face Cleveland. Why? So they can hold on to the hope they've been feeding us for years. Like, you beat Cleveland and then you get Milwaukee in round 2, and then they're like, well, we made it to the second round.
Shit.
Yeah. You just
We like
don't-
our team.
We like our team.
You're not like you got to look at it from the grounding point of view. You're not healthy enough to be in the play-in. Like you're just not. You cannot afford extra games.
Mm-hmm.
Like
No, absolutely not.
last year, you couldn't throw the ball in the ocean when you went to the playoffs, but you were healthy. There's the difference. That's
Max
you.
Strus ain't walking through that door.
Who now? Max Strus ain't walking through that door with a 30-point game. So
True.
Not walking through that door.
I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all something. And gee, you could go out on this or not, but he might be walking through that door with a 30-point game.
So on the other side.
Revenge game,
Lou's
bro.
face. Did you see Lou's face? Because Lou know it's
Anything
possible.
with that. Just listen. Great win. I could have.
You say Cle-
Jimmy's ankles can't afford them. Jimmy's ankle, Duncan's
Jimmy's-
back, Bam's
right.
tendonitis ass knee.
Caleb body.
Just Kevin Love in
Evans.
general.
Kevin Love.
Is Kevin Love in general?
General,
Just
Kevin Love has general soreness.
Eric
just
Spoelstra-
general. He's
Old age.
he's a general soreness the whole season kind of guy.
General soreness master. Eric Spoelstra, blood pressure. This is so many people to consider.
Pat Riley he might not wake up.
Oh my God! Why? Who is Tony Golf saying Kevin Love has shingles?
I don't know. I don't know what the Heat did this year to deserve all these injuries, but it needs to be studied. It needs to be
It's
studied.
every year, Louis, not just this year, bro.
It's been like
Every
this
year.
since Jimmy's been here, bro.
It's worse this year though. There's
Every year of the
so
Jimmy
much
build,
worse.
except the first year.
No, it hit us in the playoffs, bro. What do you mean?
That's
Every
true.
year.
It's true.
It hit us when it mattered.
Yep.
It
It hit us in the
when it matters.
finals.
Because they downloaded that Timu app. This what happened to their ass.
They got caught lacking out there.
A
Jesus,
fake ass app.
They got the Timu app.
they're filling out the roster. Timu players.
Yo, but chill.
Free
Thomas
delivery.
Bryant been hooping.
Buy that
bro.
bitch on Amazon, Riley.
Timu got free. Timu
He's
got
a-
free 2-week
He
delivery.
was on Timu first. Now Pat Riley's on the TikTok shop, trying to find a backup
Oh
fucking
my
point
God,
guard the
bro,
whole season.
TikTok shop, bro.
This is incredible.
Crazy. Yo, but, hey,
He-
Thomas Bryant didn't play today.
Mickey's so cheap he don't want to pay for Prime. This is despicable, man.
Lou, he went back to MySpace and said, "I bet I can find somebody on here."
The motherfucker went on the marketplace. He said,
Not even
Facebook.
Facebook. Not even Facebook Marketplace, bro. He went to Temu, bro.
Yo, that Timu hit hard.
Well, guys, we are back to regular scheduled programming. We'll be with you on Thursday against the Philadelphia 76ers and Heat. That's a really big fixture. Again, huge game. If you win that game, I think you kind of seal yourself as getting out of the play. And if you lose that game, now you're super behind the eight ball. So we will be here, wall-to-wall coverage for you on Thursday, and then we'll also be with you Sunday for Miami Heat, Indiana Pacers. I will either be the happiest man in the world because Liverpool beat Manchester United that day, or I will be miserable. So much
We're
is on the
winning.
line.
We're winning.
So much
Don't
is on
even
the
say it.
line. First
We're
top
winning.
of the table. Need 3 points. Tiff,
Yes.
Pablo, Lou, thank you for joining me, my beautiful friends. Chat, we'll see you Thursday. Heat win.